Hello gamers, have you ever wondered why your Camo Circle is so freaking big? Today we're covering that topic and I hope I can show you what the issue is, how it works and how wargaming should solve it. So just sit back, grab yourself a snack and enjoy. Hey boys, it's Super Unicorn here and welcome to a new video on my channel. And as said in the intro, we are covering the Camo Circle on the minimap today and what might be an issue with it, in the way how wargaming is calculating it. And we will talk about it today, we're gonna solve it and I will bring up a solution for it. And I hope you will all understand. But first and foremost, I want to apologize to my German viewers that this video is gonna be in full English because I just want wargaming to be able to understand it and I want the whole community to be able to understand it, hopefully, because most players of the community are indeed English or English speaking or can understand English. So yeah. This is just to get this topic spread out a bit more, hopefully, and nothing else. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry, guys. Next videos are gonna be full German again. Don't worry. So, before we're gonna go in depth after all, or at all, we have to talk a bit about how this camouflage and view range works in correlation. So, we just gonna go in the garage in a few seconds and I will show you some values. The most important value or the most important number you have to keep in mind for this video is 445 meters, because that is the exact range on which you can get spotted. Because over 445 meters you will not be able to get spotted, at least in World War II. I'm not sure if it's the same in Cold War. I would assume it's not, but as many of you might know, I do not really care. So yeah, it's just no matter how much view range you have, if it's 450 or is it for example 550, it does really not matter, because you will not be able to spot an enemy further than 445 meters away, and you will not be able to get spotted further than that. That's very important to know. And yeah, I think let's get started with the test and what I will show you about this. So for the first test, we're trying to achieve 445 meters of view range, and we're doing that with the Centurion Action X. Because at that amount of view range you will spot the enemy on exactly his camo value you can see in the garage, because it gets calculated with this. And we're doing this by not using optics, not using vents, and not using premium food. And on the crew we just have situational awareness and born leader, which are the only two perks affecting view range and are the only two perks that are important for this tryout here. So we're matching it up against the T100 LT, and it got the advanced camo, the optics, it got crew food, and this is like a normal build for a light on tier 10, which you want to play active. I think that's quite good to compare it to, or to show this. For the crew, the only important two things here are as well camo perks, the situational awareness, and born leader again. So now the only thing left to do is myself and Zevalo hopping into a custom match and trying this out. I'm playing the Action X and he's playing the T100 LT. So I should spot him at about 264 meters, which is indeed his camo value you can see in the garage. Don't mind that this value will not be exactly the same, because the distance between, you know, my distance calculation and his tank and the distance between the two spotting points is a bit different by like 2 to 3 meters. depending on how we are standing. So it's more like 260 meters, 261, wherever I'm aiming. But this indeed works, and it is his camo that's standing in his garage with the build he's doing, and me having 445 meters of view range. So now we are coming to the interesting part. We're hopping again in the Action X, but this time we're going full view range. We're taking binocular, we are taking vents, we are taking the crew food, which will give us the most possible highest view range which can be achieved in this tank. And we're gonna go again in the custom lobby, and we will see how it goes. So I'm standing in front of him now. He's driving to myself. He spots me now. He will get lit eventually. He gets lit now, and it's about 320 meters without the crew food activated, as you can see. 320 meters. So what happens if it's active? We're gonna take a look at that as well, which you can see here now. I have active food, and I'm gonna spot him at about 340 meters. So there's a difference of 20 meters in between having food active and not. So what does it say, and what's my point I'm on about? If you have more view range than 445 meters, you will reduce the enemy's camo, which is very important, because like this you can spot scouts or sneaky mediums TDs way better. But it really depends on what you are using. The build I am using, or I had been using in the last part, like binoculars, vents, is not really a typical build for a medium like the Centurion Action X. It's not really a typical build overall. You can use the binos on scouts, you can use it on TDs, but most players on scouts will take the optics because you can move with them. With the binos you cannot. So you will have quite a lower view range. So the enemy camo does not get negated that much, and you will spot him not that early. What is the issue with this? This all works good, and this all is alright and as intended, or as it should be. But now we're coming to the part that is just really not good, because as I've said, this is a build that many players will not really use that often. And what does Wargaming do to calculate the circle, the Camo Circle on your minimap? It takes a look, or the system takes a look at the enemy team. It takes the highest base view range on the enemy team. So if there's a tank with the max base view range we have in the game at the moment in World War II, which is 420 meters, it will take this value and it will bump it up to the highest possible level you could achieve with this view range. So it will calculate the view range with exactly the equipment I've been using with my Centurion Action X. It will take binoculars, it will take vents, it will take rations, and it will calculate it with rations active. So you will have, or this will mean that that's gonna be a very, 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 very high view range. If the tank has, the best tank on the enemy team has 420 meters, which might not be all time a thing, but does not really matter because it stays the same in comparison. If it's 410 or 400, it does not matter. The problem with this is, and I will show you in a minute, if it gets calculated by this, just on possibility that you could use this equipment, the issue is that if the enemy is not using that equipment, he will not spot you on your Camo Circle on the map. So Wargaming states that they are doing this for the worst case scenario. And I get it, because this should be how it works. Because like this, you know that outside of the circle, nobody can spot you. The issue is now, if you have an enemy team where none of them is using exactly this equipment, none of them is able to spot you or like on pinpoint on the radius of your camouflage circle you can see on your minimap. So most of the times, because this is not really something that gets used that often, and if it gets used, maybe it gets used on a tank that does not have the highest base view range in the game. So if there is a tank on the enemy team that has 420 meters view range, but does not use the equipment, but there is a tank that has 400 meters view range, but does use the equipment, there will as well be a difference. There will be a part of the circle, the outer part, like it just depends how much view range the enemies have or use in the battle. It can be like 20 to 50 meters, something like that. It can also be right, but that is just a possibility. It is not that, like, safe for every round. Your Camo Circle for every round will be the same if the enemy have always the same base view range. Like if you have in any game someone with 420 meters base view range, your Camo Circle on the minimap will stay the same every game. It will not change, even if players will use different equipment. And I'm gonna show you this now, and you will be the judge. So now to get the other perspective, we changed the tanks. Sevalo took the Action X, I took the T100. We are using the exact same builds. He's using the one with 445 meters view range. And as you can see, he spots me on 260-ish meters. And if you take a look at the minimap, he's standing quite a lot amount of meters inside of my Camo Circle to be able to spot me. And exactly that is the issue. Because if we take a look at another clip I'm taking here, now Sevalo is using the max view range setup. So I'm getting spotted here, outspotted by him, because I don't have enough view range. And you will see he will spot me at around 330 meters, 340, something like that. And he stands nearly exactly on the circle, on the edge of the Camo Circle on the map. So, as stated from myself, if the enemy, and we are just one-on-one here, is not using the possible highest view range build on his tank, you will not get spotted the moment he's driving into your Camo Circle. And this is a big problem, because players do not understand this, and players will not be able to play around this. They think they have a very, very bad camo, but maybe they have a better camo, but they don't know because Wargaming is calculating it wrong. So my solution for this is that Wargaming should actually take not the highest view range from one tank, the base value, and bump it up to the max. What they should do is exactly this. They should look at every 15 enemies and calculate the view range they have using the equipment they have, as well as active rations, which makes sense if they use rations, which not really anybody does. And then they have to compare these 15 values to each other and take the highest of this and use it for the match. So like this, you can be certain that the circle on the map you see really is what it should be. Because if there will be someone in the circle, he will immediately spot you if this is the tank with the highest actual view range using the equipment he is using in this game. Of course, there can be a tank that has less than that, and he tries to kill you or something like that, goes near you, and he might spot you later because he has less view range than the highest view range of his teammate. I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm just fumbling a bit here on my words, so it's not my main language. Excuse me, guys. It's a bit hard sometimes, but I think you can get what I'm saying. It's just not good like this, because it's not really making sense, the circle on the map. If, for example, the whole enemy team is using a shit build with no view range, which, yeah, it will not happen, but just for an example, then you will get spotted like only 50 to 60 meters inside of your camo circle. So what does it bring you then? It's just idiotic. It makes no sense. And that's what I'm on about, and that's what many players complaining about at the moment in Discord, and try to get Wargaming to understand. Wargaming itself is not really able to understand at the moment, and I don't want to be mean, but that's just my feeling about it. They're also fumbling a bit because, I mean, most of the conversations were with Max Chaos, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, he stated, as I said before, that it uses the highest possible view range, which really it shouldn't. And after that, I think it was Heat, I'm not really sure. He said that it's just so funny to me a bit. Hold on a second. He said that because we were sending clips in from exactly this here, it does not work in custom games. Custom games has another mechanic. Yeah, of course, Wargaming, it does. So it's just funny to me because right in front of that, in another post, Max said that when we showed him the clip, that the difference is created because, as I've shown you, the enemy does not have the max view range equipment, so he's standing inside of the circle to spot you, and this is how it's intended. So he kind of confirmed that it works also in custom lobbies, but after that he goes like, it does not work in custom lobbies. I'm sorry, guys, you can't test it. You just can't. Try to catch us, but we're finding ways to just piss you off and tell you you're wrong without sending any proof and just saying, it's just ridiculous. And just for you, Max, at this point, I want to show you something very quick, because you stated that it's not possible for an enemy to spot you outside of the Camo Circle. Just take a look here. Can you explain it to me? Well, I'm not going to tell you how it's done. I think you can figure it out yourself, and if you want to guess in the comments, boys, do it. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. As I said, it's just ridiculous. It should calculate the value for exactly every battle, not just the possibility. It should calculate the real view range that is on the enemy team by the used equipment. Yeah, not sure why Wargaming is doing it. They said it's been in the game for many years, since 2016. And that might be right, because before this big update, the difference between view ranges were not that big. So it might just have slipped past all of us because there were no binos in the game. But now with binos, the view ranges can be so different. So I think it's just more, you just feel it more. And yeah, it should just not be like this in the game. So just tell me in the comments what you're thinking about this. What's your opinion? Should Wargaming change it to what I'm saying, or should they not? And yeah, we will see each other hopefully in the next video or stream. Bye bye, guys. Oh, and guys, just for a small disclaimer at the end, I don't want to roast or hate Wargaming with this. I just want to be certain that things are done right and in my opinion this is something that really is not good for the game. I want the game to be at its best, and I think changing this system, even though it hasn't been changed for such a long amount of time, is very important even now, because we're having binos again. We just need it to be like this, as I've said. No hate, it's all good, don't want to annoy you, just want to say this. Bye bye.